So tonight I'd like to go over a few things with you guys about the importance of communication in a relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were the only one that was able to communicate? Maybe try to express your feelings and nobody heard them? Whether you're in a relationship with a partner or spouse or trying to talk with a friend or family member, communication is important. I'd like to go over what the 4 types of communications are, how communication can be broken down, what communication is, and how to communicate properly with a friend, family member, partner, or spouse. The first thing that I'd like to go over is the 4 types of communication. They're also known as the 4 horsemen. John Gottman, he's the author of the 7 Principles for Making a Marriage Work. He has done tons of research on how communication in a relationship is important. The first one is, the first problem in a relationship is the criticism of a partner's personality when communicating with another person. The second one is contempt or superiority of a partner. And the third is the way a person can become defensive when their partner is communicating. And the fourth is the refusal to communicate at all. I find that a lot of people have problems in a relationship with communication because they already assume they know what the other person's talking about, so that automatically leads to a fight. Or if somebody's trying to say what their feelings are, the other person doesn't want to hear what they have to say. Next, I want to talk about what communication is. Randy Fusion, he talks about communication in his book, Gifts from the Heart. The main concept of communication is just putting your feelings and your thoughts into words to be able to get the what you want to say to the other person out correctly. It also is very important when you're communicating to listen to what the other person has to say. Again, don't assume you already know what they're going to say. You want to actually hear what they have to say and understand what they're trying to say to you. And last, you want to learn how to, when you want to learn how to communicate correctly, or when you do learn how to communicate correctly, this is only going to strengthen your bond, your marriage, your relationship, whatever it is that you're communicating with someone on. Next, when married couples cannot communicate properly, I think that everything else in their relationship fails. I personally have experienced this firsthand, where when communication is not there, a spouse or a partner will put up a wall and everything else fails in the marriage or the relationship. Whether it's your friend, your family member, if you feel you can't communicate with that person, then you really don't want anything else to do with that person because they're not hearing what you have to say. I think as a married couple that when you lack the understanding of each other, you seem to find yourselves again assuming what each other wants to say, again, instead of listening. And the last thing is how can couples make communication an important part of their relationship? Mark Gungor, he talks about communication being effective in his book that's called Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. In communication, it's not just something that you do. No matter the amount of time that you've been with this person, friend, family, whatever, you need to work on communication with each other at all times. There's another book that's out there that's called The Love Dare. My husband actually got it for me when we were having our problems. And basically that one there it's 40 days of going through, and basically it's a dare every day of something that you can do with your partner. It gives you an idea of how to communicate with your partner, such as like apologies. Apologies will help break away bad communication habits because you're letting down your wall and telling that person that you're sorry. Communication with your partner, family or friend needs to be constant. It's not just one thing here and then one thing here. You have to constantly talk to the person. And don't tell your partner something just because you think that's what they want to hear. Tell them the truth. And you need to be open and honest and upfront about your feelings. That's my story on communication, how important it is in a relationship. Like I said, I went through it. I learned from my mistakes in my relationship how important communication is. And I find that being upfront and honest is the best way that you can be in a relationship when it comes to communication. Thank you.